Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Todd is in Ukraine, though, correct?
Todd Shapiro's in the Ukraine, too. Todd Shapiro, tell us what's going on. You guys led a delegation to the Ukraine?
Well, I'm only, part of the delegation, but, I guess I'm the media part of it. But it's an incredible experience to go to Ukraine. It takes, 8 hours to, you have to go from Hungary, or you have to go from Poland. There's no airspace. You can't just fly in and go do humanitarian.
In other words, they won't let you go land in Ukraine. So you went to Hungary to land and then driven to the Ukraine.
Exactly. It's easy to take Capital Airlines today, which doesn't exist, as you know. But there's no way to get there right now, other than you get driven in there. They have like a Navy SEAL assigned to us, and it's called Heroes for Football.
And this is for the Pataki Foundation.
Pataki Foundation started this a few years ago. It's really a brilliant thing.
Now,
So
in the United States, we've got all the Europeans coming to the United States playing soccer. And you guys went to Ukraine to play football, American football.
It sounds like a Polish joke, right? but it's not. It's actually actually really.
Tell us.
I'm kidding. It's really an amazing. Well, a Football for Heroes program, and George, the governor, former governor, did this with Roger Dell from the NFL, where they set up a program bringing footballs. A lot of the troops in Ukraine have children. The children are restless as their fathers are out, fighting and away. They're sitting in these small villages and homes. So they brought American football into the Ukraine. They actually have soldiers as coaches, Ukrainian soldiers, not American. So imagine American football, touchdown, not the one you kick like they're doing here at Meadowlands or whatever you want to call it today over in East Rutherford. It's a whole different kind of thing, a whole different kind of thing. And it's doing really well. It's we're excited. Expect about 500 kids that will be there. And I'm just blessed to be part of this program, Football for Heroes program.
So how many people how many people in the delegation?
We have 10 people, and it's I'm excited. It's one of the greatest experiences of my life. The only thing that scares me is that 30,000 Russians get killed every month in Ukraine. But they have apps. They give you an app that tells you when the drone is coming. So I feel good. I feel lucky.
Now you have an app on your cell phone, and it goes off when the drone is coming for you.
Okay. Yeah, it goes off and tells you when a drone is getting close to you.
Now, do you have Owen Pataki? Is he near you? Can you get on the phone with us?
He's not. He's they're resting. They're in a different area right now. But Owen Pataki, the governor's son, who's leading the delegation, because he's a Pataki, and there's nothing better than the Pataki Foundation to have this happen. He's a former military. He was in the Army. He served in Afghanistan. So it's really it's really nice to have him doing what he's doing, having his father put this together for us. I mean, he's been doing this for several years. They were bringing heaters. They were bringing humanitarian food for the last several years. When this first war started, it's not that they're just doing this now. They've been providing millions of dollars in humanitarian aid. And listen, the governor at 80 years old could be sitting there, thinking about the beach. He cares about people. He cares about helping people and doing the right thing. And that's what the Pataki Foundation is all about. That's what he started. They get $1 million grant from the U.S. State Department. So the U.S. State Department is involved in this program. And they're providing, listen, what people think we're not, we're paying attention to one war over in the Middle East. We really have compassion for the Ukraine and for the people over here, more the families.
And the State Department gave $1 million grant to do this football for the Ukraine people, or is it for United States soldiers?
It was for this program that was set up by the governor.
Todd Shapiro,
So
this is Jake. Hey, Todd, this is Jake Novak speaking. It speaks to the popularity. By the way, American football connected to U.S. military bases and then also bleeding over to the local populations is nothing new. There have been American NFL stars who grew up playing in Europe and then came to the United States, either, maybe did a year or two of college and then went to the NFL. As John mentioned, we're in the midst of this World Cup thing where it's being jammed down our throats. Soccer. It's nice to see the United States promoting our number one American sport, which is American football, over there, and they love it there. I mean, Roger Goodell, you mentioned his name. The NFL has got to be loving the response to those NFL games that have been going on in Europe. They are playing more and more games in Europe every year, including this coming season. This is an investment in the future for the NFL, and they love it, don't they?
They deal with the kids. If you see the kids' faces in the Ukraine, how wonderful. It makes a difference in the lives of people. And you know what? What Governor Pataki's foundation is doing, in the Greek word, it's called mitzvah. Is that Greek or Jewish? I don't even know.
That's a Hebrew word, but okay. I'm sure there's a Greek word. It has a Greek origin, as John would probably say.
Well, I think John has 1% of everything there is. Anyway, So bottom line, the word mitzvah, he's doing a mitzvah for the people here. He's doing a mitzvah for the children. I mean, these troops are fighting, to try to survive and keep their nationalism, keep their country alive. Imagine if Russians came into your country trying to take your homes and all of a sudden, I remember going here last year. I saw buildings that were blown up where we were giving heaters, giant industrial heaters the size of cars to keep people warm in the middle of the cold, because there's nothing worse than being in the Ukraine or being in some of the weather and not having heat to keep your family warm. And sometimes when you look at things, we complain about little things. You really forget about the big picture in life, about the things that when people don't have a place to live and they go homeless, they don't have food on their thing, you really look at life and it takes a different turn. So is it worth risking your life to come to a thing to help people? 100%, because these people need a blessing, and the Pataki Foundation is providing that blessing for them. And it's you see the smile on these kids' faces by just touching a football. American football. I went to the World Cup a few days ago, and it was great. It was amazing. It cost you $200 for lunch, but when you see a $5 hot dog being given, and I got to tell you, they're great hot dogs there, by the way. But when you see a hot dog being given, with footballs, and it brings American back home, and it makes you look at the big picture in life. And John does mitzvahs every day, so he knows what that's like.
Well, Todd, stay in touch with us from the Ukraine, and if Owen Pataki is available later on, we'd love to talk to him and get his perspective on things. And we'll stay safe, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, and tell Owen maybe the State Department can help his old Cornell football team, because they haven't had a winning season in 21 years.
We'll tell him in person, okay?
I got to tell you one quick funny story real quick. So last year I was there, and my wife, I called my wife, and I was sitting at a McDonald's in Kiev, and I had two mercenaries sitting next to me with guns. I FaceTime my wife. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm having lunch at McDonald's." Todd, be careful. So, it's just whatever.
Stay safe. Stay safe. I hope you got that app on your telephone, so if a drone is coming for you, Hi.
If the drone is cut, it's a drone phone.
We got to go. We got Rod Blagojevich on the other line. Last night.
I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.